I just went to see the Nutcracker in the theater a few hours ago. And of course, like all the other versions I've seen, I loved it. Fuck the critics have said that this is a 34% on Rotten Tomatoes. Screw the people on YouTube that say this movie is soulless and incoherent. I wanted to see a different take on this franchise, and I loved every single frame of this movie. It is not free of problems. I do have some problems with it, but I will get to that as soon as you hear that gorgeous Tchaikovsky music. Don't worry, I'm not going to get a copyright claim. Tchaikovsky's been dead for years, so yeah. I went to see the movie in the theater. It was pretty empty. I had a good time. I got to hear the beautiful music from the ballet. What else could I ask for? And basically, the movie's the story. It's not a remake. It's its own thing. It's a different take on the story that's been told many times. This timeless story. And basically, you have a little girl named Clara, who goes in this version. She goes into the four realms, which is a kind of like Alice in Wonderland, but of the Nutcracker's world. And she has to retrieve this key to open a uh, music box that she has, a Fabergé egg that's a music box. And yeah, what more of a story do you want, guys? Okay, I'll stop it here. And basically, the cast is really sound in this movie. I really enjoyed the cast more than any of the new KK Wars cast. Like, those are boring and soulless and incoherent. Those don't have a story I care about. Those have actors I could give a damn about. And this has mostly a cast of, yeah, mostly of British actors, but none of them are from The Force Awakens. None of them are from Rogue One. None of them are from Solo, and none of them are from Episode 8 or Episode 9 when that comes out. And yeah, basically, Mackenzie Foy, I fell in love with her in this movie. I loved every second she was on screen. Her accent didn't bother me. Her dresses are absolutely gorgeous in the movie. The film is visually stunning with her in the movie. She really carries her own. And, she has a really good screen presence. Joe Johnston did a good job directing her. He did Captain America: The First Avenger. He did Jurassic Park 3. He did freaking The Rocketeer, one of my favorite 90s films. He's worked with Disney before, that's why they hired him. And this movie feels like a complete movie. Him and Lassie Hallstrom did a good job directing. I don't want to hear. There's only one actor in the movie that really sucks, but I'll get to that. Mackenzie Foy, love you, girl. I think you're absolutely amazing in this. And, she really had to sell it, and she did. You also have Morgan Freeman. He's not in the film that much. He's in two scenes, guys. So he doesn't have a lot to do. Helen Mirren, she should have been in the movie more. That's one of the flaws of the movie. She should have been in a lot more. You have Richard E. Grant. I think he's is he the Nutcracker? No, you have Eugenio Derbez. He was the Mexican guy from Jack and Jill. He's Hawthorne, the ruler of the flower realm. He has like the makeup is fantastic in the movie. I think the makeup effects and the costumes are beautiful. The visuals are stunning. The CGI and the practical sets, I love looking at them. It's a very beautiful looking movie. Unlike B&B 2017, where everything was ugly and they sapped all the color out, and that was soulless and boring. And that movie made $1 billion. I think this is better. It's not as dull. And what is McCullough? Who else? You had Matthew McFadden. He was the father, Mr. Stahlbaum. Yeah, and Misty Copeland. She's the ballerina princess that dances. In the interpretive dance scenes in the movie, which I think are very well done. It's all music, no dialogue, just a lot of graceful dancing, like in Black Swan. Um, you have who else you have in the movie? You have Misty, no, Jaden Fower Knight as Captain Philip Hoffman. He was fine. He's basically a better version of John Boyega from The Force Awakens. He's a black British guy, but he's not freaking a comic relief. He's not a freaking stereotype. He does his role well. And he's the Nutcracker and the self-proclaimed protector of the three realms. You have Miranda Hart as the Dewdrop Fairy. You have Jack Whitehall as the Harley Quinn. Ellie Bamper as Louise. That's the older sister. In this version, Clara has an older sister. Little Buck is the Mouse King, and Sergei Polunin as Sweets Cavalier, and Tom Sweet as Fritz. The cast is mostly fine. There's also a cameo uh, by Gustavo Dudamel He conducting an orchestra. Yeah, I seen that scene. And also, yeah, the film is a great looking movie. Like, if for kids, this is a good movie for them. It's not soulless. I've seen way worse. I'm sorry that they're not cracking a joke like in every Marvel movie or every DC movie or every freaking Disney movie animated. It doesn't need to be that, guys. It's a freaking Christmas movie in November. It's not going to be Shakespeare, and I was not expecting that. Now, the film has one of the biggest drawbacks, and it's not the incoherent plot. It's not the soulless. It's your lead villain. The Sugar Plum Fairy in this movie is played by Keira Knightley. Oh my God, her performance here is god awful. I already said it, and no, I don't want to hear in the comments, oh, John, you were going to hate her from the beginning because you hated her in Pirates. Yeah, I didn't like her in this movie, and her acting has gotten worse since the last Pirates movie that she starred in. She is her voice. It sounds cartoonish. It sounds like remember the ghost that was in Harry Potter that had glasses that was in the bathroom that had a crush on Harry. She sounds like that, and she has pink hair, and the makeup and the costume is fine, but her acting is so terrible, and she is so over the top. She screams just like she did in the last Pirates movie that she was in, the third one, and in a leading role, and she's awful. Just every time I heard her talk, I was cringing. That's the only thing in the movie that doesn't work. It has she ain't got nothing on the previous people that have played the Sugar Plum Princess. It's just like here, it's just like really forced, and her as a villain, I didn't buy it, and I didn't, I would have rather it be the Mouse King, and yeah, I'm just glad that the movie it has done. It entertained me for the. It was less than 2 hours. It was only 99 minutes. It was not a slog to get through, like freaking the third Pirates or, uh, what was it, Lone Ranger or John Carter of Mars? The John Carter movie or freaking Tomorrowland. No, those are boring and soulless, and they flopped, and they were not even visually stunning. This movie is visually stunning. It's in my top 10 just to stick it to all these dumbass critics. Guess what, critics? Movies like this weren't meant for you. Yeah, they weren't meant for you. The movie cost 120 to 133 million dollars. It was on the screen. This is not Fembusters where it's shitty CGI and bad jokes and disrespecting the first two movies. This doesn't do that. It's a different interpretation of something that I loved as a kid. It's my favorite Christmas story. James Newton Howard did the music. It's fantastic. That is one thing the movie has going for it no matter what. The soundtrack is beautiful Tchaikovsky's music, and I've always loved that music. No matter how old it is, it's fantastic. You heard a piece of it earlier, and I'm not going to get a copyright strike for that. And yeah, like I said, Mackenzie Foy, I love her in the movie. I've wanted to see her in something for years since the last thing I saw her in the theater was Interstellar, and this is her first major role uh, as a lead, and she's fine. I don't know what people are expecting. So let me get this straight, guys. You remade Star Wars and you did it in a boring fashion, trying to recreate things that were done better, and you have the worst actress of all time. Who do I want? The worst actress of all time or this beautiful face? Look at that face. It's precious. It's the most beautiful thing I've seen this year. Besides, Evangeline Lilly in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and of course Scarlett Jo. She's young, but she's got a lot of talent. That's something that DR will never have, ever have, because her accent is soulless and boring, and she kills a movie just with her face. At least Mackenzie Foy has a bright future, and I can't wait to see her in something else. The only thing I hated in this movie was Keira Knightley. She is awful in this movie, but I was not expecting miracles out of her because she is just the worst actress in the Pirates movie. She's the worst actress in this movie. Everything she's in, she sucks in. Even the Phantom Menace. There's a reason why she's in that film so little, because Natalie Portman acts circles around her, even with a monotone voice. Monotone doesn't always mean soulless, guys. Jurassic World, that's soulless. Telling the same story and being like dead serious and trying to recapture things that were done before, yeah, that doesn't work. See, listen to that music. Does that sound soulless to you? I'm sorry this movie wasn't a comedy. Ha ha. You know what was soulless that I saw this year? Gotti, where John Travolta, the whole movie's like this. Or I Feel Pretty, where freaking Amy Schumer, where all the jokes are the main joke is, oh, she thinks she looks hot. Yeah, there's your music. I think that was in the music, yeah. And the music's incorporated into the film, and it works. It's not forced in there. It works. And is this the best version of the Nutcracker I've ever seen? No, but it's not the worst. My least favorite version is the Tom and Jerry version from like a couple years ago. That one I couldn't get into. The only thing good was the music. And yeah, I'm willing to see a movie that's done by Disney that's not a remake because all of their upcoming remakes are gonna suck worse. Aladdin, Lion King, freaking Little Mermaid. If they cast the wrong people, yeah, that's boring and soulless. That's stuff I've seen already done better, animated and on Broadway, or just on in general on plays. This movie was fine, guys. It's not gonna please everybody. I know a lot of people are gonna shit on it. I don't care. Fuck them. They're gonna do the same thing to Captain Marvel next year. It'll probably get good reviews, and then some people are gonna shit on it because like, oh, this female can't carry the movie. If I care about the actress, if the character's relatable, I will go see her. And Mackenzie Foy's Clara knocks it out of the park. She's lovely. She can fight. She's pretty badass at the end. She's likable. She's human, and she has emotion on her face. That's more than I got with the hobo in the first movie. Sorry. I'll take a beautiful young girl over a girl that can't act her way out of a box. And that's my review of The Nutcracker in the Four Realms. It's not as bad as the critics say. Fuck the critics. They can eat a bunch of dicks. They always want to shit on everything that I like. Everything. The Star Wars prequels, some of the Marvel movies, some freaking DC movies. Do I care? No, because I'm a rebel. I will spit in the face of freaking bad critics, calling everything this incoherent. It's a stupid movie. This is for me, guys. I'm sorry. I wanted to be entertained for 99 minutes, and it didn't take 2 hours to do it. Thank you, Joe Johnston. Fuck you, Ryan Johnston, instead, because you made a 2.5 hour bore fest that could have been easily 2 hours long. You didn't need the extra 30 minutes. This was fine in 99 minutes. It's short, it's to the point, it's beautiful, it has great actors in it, two Oscar nominated actors that won Oscars, and it entertained me throughout. Yeah, sue me. It's almost the holiday season. I want to be entertained. I don't want to be freaking bored out of my mind with a 2.5 hour slog. You can keep all of your freaking artsy fartsy films. If they bore me, I want nothing, no part of it. I want to see something good. And this movie was good enough for me. Good enough to be in my top 10. And suck it, haters. Where's my journal? I had to put music because I don't want my videos to be boring. I'm not going to use that for later. Here it is. My top 10 movies of the year. I'm gonna just add it to the list. Just to do it on camera to prove. It goes right under Incredibles 2. Screw the haters. And right above The Last Sharknado. So that's where it is. And you're not gonna see number 3. I'm missing one. So we'll see what it is. Maybe it'll be Overlord. Maybe it'll be The Crimes of Grindelwald. Who knows? It isn't gonna be Aquaman because I'm not seeing that in the theater. And there you go, guys. I've made my statement. I enjoyed The Nutcracker in the Four Realms. Just like I enjoyed Alice in the Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass and Oz the Great and Powerful. I'm not looking for high art, guys. I just want to be entertained. That is my goal. That's what that freaking movie did this year. That's what Ant-Man and the Wasp did to me. That's what the last Sharknado did to me. That's what freaking Lego, the DC Comics, or freaking The Flash did for me. If you entertain me, no matter what price, I'm willing to pay for it. And that music is beautiful. Tchaikovsky's freaking score in this movie is fantastic. See this movie. If you have kids, see it. If you're not interested, I get it. Okay, guys? This ballet isn't for everyone. But it's something I grew up with. I have a passion for it, and I love it. And I got to see it, and I paid full price. Because that's how much I love this story. No matter what version of it I see. Yeah. And I'll just leave you guys at that. Thanks for watching. Take care. This is not part of the cinematic duds, by the way. This is the 34%. I say, screw you. The last version that came out in the 2010 got a 0%. It is not a 0%, guys. Trust me. Critics are just assholes. They want to just whack it to artsy fartsy stuff, and that's not for me either. A 2.5 hour drama where someone's suffering isn't for me. Sorry, it just makes me sad. I want to be happy. Excuse me for having a rough ass year, and I want to be happy at the end. You can't blame me, guys. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. I'm not having a midlife crisis, I promise you. I had fun with the Nutcracker. For what it was, it's in my top 10 of the year. It's not in my top 5 because there were better films, but it's not the worst. Trust me, there's going to be worse next year with the Disney remakes that we don't need. But here, I had fun. Thanks for not fucking this up, Disney. I was entertained for 99 minutes, short enough, to the point. See you guys in the next one.